Welcome to the Whitetail Advantage Podcast with your host, Brett Bovin. Thank you for tuning in and enjoy the show.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Brett Bovin, the show for all hunters and outdoorsmen alike, where you get to share stories, learn strategies, and just have a good, fun old time. Like I said, we like to call this the electronic campfire here. For those of you that are unfamiliar with the show, we do a live show every Tuesday and Thursday on our YouTube channel at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And each week we cover a new state. And so for this week, we are in North Carolina. So I'm looking forward to our guest. It's his first time ever being on doing a podcast, doing a show like this. So I'm glad we get to quote unquote pop his cherry. So I'm looking forward to that. I always like to say, if anyone out there wants to be a guest on the show, feel free to reach out to us on our social media platforms, or you can send me an email to brettbovin@whitetailadvantage.com. We also have a saying on the show: put your cord on the slot machine. What I simply mean by that is to help share the show, help us get one new friend. I strongly believe hunting is a dying sport. It's a dying lifestyle. And we're trying to do our best here to bring that, like I said on episodes before, trying to bring that deer camp feeling back to what it used to be growing up as a kid. And we're just trying to get more hunters out in the field. So all I ask is put your cord in the slot machine, help us get one new friend. Use the code GP10, GP10, get 10% discount off Gilly Puck products. Also check out MAGNUS BROADHEADS and Riz Media. All right. Finally. That is just done with. I'm tired of doing intros. It sucks. I hate it. It's freaking annoying. Everyone knows bleh. All right. It's Thursday, August 22nd, episode 100. We are finally reached episode 100. So, man, it feels amazing and weird all in the same time. Anyways, if I did forget to mention, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, feel free to drop them in the comment section. And the Deucer is here with us tonight, and he'll pop them up during the show. So with enough of me jibber jabbering, let's get in with tonight's show and bring our guest in. What is up, brother?
Oh, just another day, man. Just happy to be on here.
Oh man, I'm excited to have you on. This, like you said, it's our first time, right?
Yeah, it's the first time ever doing one, so it's something different, man.
Yeah. Are you nervous in any way?
Maybe a little bit, but I mean that's just I don't know. It's one of them things.
I was nervous starting this, but I was like, hey, we're just talking about deer, so it's not like anything different. So we're just putting basically a recorder in the middle of us and just recording the conversation, really.
That's exactly right. I mean, we're talking about something we love to do, deer hunting.
Exactly.
Who doesn't like doing that? So
well, brother, for anyone that doesn't know you, can you give a little background about who you are?
Yeah, so I mean, my name's Dustin Kimbrell. I'm born and raised in North Carolina. I live little town in Gaston County. So, I mean, I've been hunting all my life. My dad got me into hunting when I was 5 years old. I can remember sitting in a tree stand, turning around backwards and climbing up the climber. So, I mean, ever since then, I just been hard at it.
So your dad got you into hunting?
Yep. We started hunting, running dogs. We were in a dog club. My dad was in a dog club growing up. So we ran beagles and foxhounds and stuff in the hunt club out in Wadesboro, North Carolina. And that's where I got the started of it.
My dad got me into hunting, and in our family, we can only hunt with a bow, and I'm very grateful for that. And he unfortunately can't draw a bow back, so he's got to use a crossbow, and I give him some crap for it once in a while, but I try not to give him too much crap, because I said the only time I won't shoot a bow is if I physically can't and I have to go to a crossbow. Oh
yeah, that's me. I'm the same way. I bow hunt. That's all I like doing. I'll pick a gun up. Man, anybody can pick a gun up and shoot a deer. That's the way I look at it. I mean,
exactly.
The bow is so much more just you got to get them so close. I mean, you just I don't know. It's just it's a high no drug will ever give you, in my opinion.
It's the healthiest version of crack.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
You know, I actually have a poultice I make using maize.
Just say corn. Maize is corn, everybody.
Yeah, but he says maize because it sounds more mystical.
Exactly.
Well, I like the way you said it. Maize. 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 Maize.
It's fantastic, okay?
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Oh, I love it.
It's
That
true.
movie
It
never
really is
gets old.
amazing. I mean,
It is.
when I was a kid, I remember my dad saying, "Brett, anyone can go out there and gun hunt. Basically, your grandma. Look at this. Your grandma can go pick up a gun that's already sighted in at 100 yards and go shoot a deer. It takes skill and practice and a whole bunch of other stuff like that to go into bow hunting.
All right.
So that's how I look at it. In one way.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's like that. I was sitting here before the show, like looking at a bow sight I just bought. You know, trying to figure out how I can get my bow sighted in just right.
What bow sight do you get?
I got the it's a Trophy Ridge. It's that React 4. It's supposed to be like you sight it in at 20 yards and 30 yards, and you're good to 50 yards.
I saw that. I almost got that, but then I went with the I almost got that one a couple of years ago, and then I went with the Redline torch.
Yeah.
And my wife still thinks I have that bow sight, but I end up buying the $600 UV slider. She doesn't know about it just yet.
The price is wrong, bitch.
She doesn't know.
I really want to buy. I thought about buying one of the Garmin's, but I don't know, man. I can't take myself to do it yet.
Buy one of those what?
The Garmin. The one
Oh,
that's got
those like
the range
$1,000 bow sights. Yeah.
I've seen people buying them, but I don't know. I just can't do it.
Yeah, that is a hefty price. You're basically buying a bow for that sight.
Yeah. Exactly. I just can't do it.
You mentioned dog hunting.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how popular or big hunting with dogs is down there till like a couple months ago, really.
Yeah, it's so big. Like, so North Carolina, the way they broke it up, it's like a line down through. It's a road called 742, and it runs between Union County and Anson County, and you cannot hunt east of 742. So east of it, like into the Union County line, in Union County, Stanley County, all these other counties that border this highway, you can't run dogs in. And from that point all the way towards the mountainside, and then from there towards the East Coast, man, you can run dogs all over the place.
Really?
Yeah, and them dog hunters, it wasn't as serious it was when I did it growing up with my dad, but now, man, them guys they are serious dog hunter. Like I've seen them fly up in front yards of a neighborhood chasing after a deer. It gets crazy out there, and they run them with bear too, down towards the beach.
Yeah, talking with Cody.
Yeah.
Didn't realize bear hunting in North Carolina is a big thing. Huge thing, really.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially out towards the coast. I'm friends with outfitter, it's Lick Stone, or I can't remember the exact name of, but on Facebook. But man, they have massive bears that they run with dogs out there at the East Coast.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't even think bears were that big around there.
Well,
apparently they was.
Cody's friend Jordan, he said like the largest one that was taken was 838.
Yeah, I saw something in the magazine a couple weeks ago about the largest bear in North Carolina.
That is crazy big.
I just don't know if I want to cross paths with him.
Have you ever gotten into hunting bear?
I mean, I wouldn't turn it down if somebody said, "Hey, you want to go bear hunting?" Let's go. I mean, I'll try it. I'll try it one time at least. But I've just never had the opportunity to go.
Huh.
So I mean, I'm all for it. If I can ever go, I'll go.
So let's backtrack a little quick here. Do you see yourself hunting more on private or public land, or a mix of both? Or
So me, I'm normally hunt like deer. I hunt private land only because of there's one factor in it is safety. To me, game lands in North Carolina are very crowded. Unless you find one that's off the beaten path. Even turkey season, I'll only hunt game lands during turkey season because I can draw permits, or I know kind of some spots to go to that's not very crowded during turkey season at least. But deer season, I mainly try to stick on private land.
Private land.
Yeah.
So
Wise choice.
Thanks.
He's been manipulating you the whole time. Look at him. Look at it. He's smiling evilly.
You know what? Just stop. You're manipulating me. He's manipulating me, and I'm getting confused. I am the decider of us three. I decide. Let the decider decide. I am not the suggester. I'm not having a good time with this game.
The dude's just such an idiot. All right. I love the dude. I can't even. All right. So on your private land, how are you using your trail cameras? Do you let me go back. Do you use trail cameras?
Oh yeah. So I don't know if I told you this or not, but I'm on the pro staff team for Spy Point. I run Spy Point trail cameras. I've heard, everybody has what cameras they like the most, right? I love my Spy Points. I put them out. I try to start putting them out. I'm actually late this year putting them out. I hadn't even got a camera in the woods yet because I didn't really know if I was going to be able to hunt the property until just a few weeks ago. But I normally try to get them out around, June, and then watch the growth in them. And I'll place them. I'll probably put it at the beginning of the season. I'll probably put 6, 7, 8 cameras out around this whole property until I find that one area that they're constantly traveling, and then I'll just focus in on that one area and put 2 or 3 on some trails, or maybe back it off into a field where I can see how they're coming across the field. That's kind of how I deploy my cameras.
Yeah. Yeah, I know this kind of new day and age of trail cameras where people are like, it's cheating in like some states, and some people see it as cheating, and in some states, some people look at it like, well, I don't know the whole scientific behind it, but like they give off this electromagnetic field of the trail cameras, and
yeah. I've never had that problem. And I've hunted like some of the craziest places before, and I've put trail cameras and never had an issue before at all, ever. But I can put a different brand of corn out there from Walmart, the apple flavored, and the deer will turn their nose up to it and not even touch it. Yeah. That's the kind of like a trail camera, never had an issue. Corn, all the time. It never fails.
It seems like I've had deer just come straight up to it and just go like,
yep,
just rub their nose on, like, what the fuck is this? And
yeah.
I've never had deer just kind of like, obviously I don't know because I never had a picture of it, but it's not like so when they're walking behind it and stuff, like how the fuck do you know?
Yeah.
Unless you have one camera facing that camera specifically, maybe, and I don't know.
Yeah. I have had that happen where I've had deer come in to this one spot, and it's probably partly my fault because I put a stand, not thinking about it. It was just I needed to get a stand in there, just went in there and did it. And I put a stand like right over the top of this camera. So I knew that the deer were coming right almost up under me. And I had deer walking around the backside of that camera, around kind of towards the left side of the tree stand. So I couldn't ever get a shot. And I actually stuck a camera behind that camera to actually see, well, is it something that I've done? And when I did that, they started going behind that camera. And it was just an effect all the way down through there. So I was like, all right, let's just pull all this out of here, back up 50 yards and try again. And then they started coming right into where I had wanted them at to start with.
Huh.
So I think it was partly my fault, but I'll never know.
Dude, first off, PSC Mobile Hunter here made what was that comment, Deucer? He's on back, go blue. Motherfucker. He's back again watching the show. Thank you for being a fan. And I know who you are because you and I text now. But love and F you all on the same time.
Alrighty then.
Yeah. Blue. The M. I'm putting the M down. Oh, so quick side note story. So, do you know how the rivalry game it's called the game now, whatever? I think it's the stupidest term, whatever. Michigan versus Ohio State. College football.
Bits and pieces of it. I haven't really.
Anyways,
I'm just now getting back into football.
anyways, Ohio State refers to Michigan as that team up north. Oregon joining the Big Ten, they've got now kind of the mantra or the term of that team out west.
Right.
So Oregon's playing at Michigan. So, hey, PSE Mobile Hunter, the last time Oregon played Michigan, it was at Michigan, and the score was like 38-7 before halftime. So, F you, middle finger. So, all right. Little side note, rabbit hole right there. But anyways, let's drop back in here. What's your bow setup? Outdoors and more with the Squatch. Great show, guys. Greetings from the Squatch. Whitetail Advantage rocks. Dude, I love that man. He's an awesome dude. I've met my fair share of humble, great guys. I've had like 2 conversations with this guy. One was when we had about a meet and greet that I have with guests, and I'm gonna this motherfucker right here. PSE Mobile Hunter. How many national championships have Oregon won? Michigan got handed that national title last year. So, anyways.
And I've got to say, in all honesty, it's the biggest piece of dog shit that I have ever heard. Everyone's laughing, by the way, but it's true because everybody's heard it too. Everyone heard it, right? They look at all. Everyone's like, "Yeah, big piece of dog shit."
Whatever. The Squatch, he's the humblest, most down-to-earth, great guy that I've ever met. And I'm not even just saying that, hey, you gotta do it, bro. Yeah, I know, I get it. The down-to-earth, most humblest guy I've ever met. And I'm not just saying that because I'm live or whatever. I'd say that to anyone I met, like, off-air or whatever. I truly do mean that. So, if anyone gets a chance to talk to that guy, do it.
Yep.
So you use a bow. You're just like me. Awesome. I love that. That's amazing. I'll give you a round of applause for that. Just shooting bow. What type of bow setup do you have?
So this is going to sound the craziest thing ever, but I used to shoot a G5. G5 Forge is what I shot for the longest time. And 2 years ago, I changed up. I wanted to buy a new bow. And I was like, man, I just could not decide on a bow that I wanted. And I just couldn't see dishing out that much money for a brand new bow. And when I lost my hunting lease at that time, so I was like, I ain't really got a place to hunt. I don't really want to dump that kind of money into it. So I went on Amazon and I bought an Amazon bow, and it's called a Dragon R8. And I thought this was going to be the biggest piece of junk that I've ever had in my hands. And it is actually the lightest bow, one of the lightest bows I've ever put in my hands.
Really?
It is. And it comes it came with all the sights and the airs and the rest, and which I pretty much just took everything off of it and just put everything that I wanted on the bow. So only money I had into it was the bow itself was like $280. And then all my sights and my rest. And see, I run this React sight, that React 4 sight is what I run from Trophy Ridge. I run the Whisker Biscuit. That's another one. I used to shoot the Octane. The Hostage Octane rest. I went away from that one because I had too many arrows falling off my wrist. Like when I draw back, I would turn or something and it would bump off. And trying to pick an arrow up with your teeth while you're full drawn, it takes talent. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go with this. I'm putting a Whisker Biscuit on it, and that's all I shoot now. And it's
PSE Mobile Hunter here.
75.
He said, I seen one of those. They're actually a decent bow, surprisingly.
Yeah. What actually got me hooked onto it was there's a guy, I think he has a thing on TikTok and YouTube. I think it's Bow Hunter Planet or Bow Planet or something like that. He's a tech, and he buys these bows, these bows on Amazon, or finds these run-of-the-mill little bows and tests them out and gives you reviews on them. And I actually saw him do that to this bow. And I was like, man, if this guy's saying this is a good bow, then yeah, and all he shot was Bowtex. So I was like, hey, if he's saying this is a good bow, it's going to be well worth the money.
Right. The Squatch here, love my Whisker Biscuit. A comment I'm going to want to make to that, Squatch, and to you, Dustin, is I used to shoot a Whisker Biscuit, but I noticed when I was shooting with my Whisker Biscuit, noise, it would hear that when you're drawing back, you'd hear that, trying to do it the best kind of.
Yep.
Like that weird, like that type of noise as you're drawing back. And I've had encounters where deer would hear that and they like look up and like, what the fuck was that? So I don't run a Whisker Biscuit anymore, but granted, I changed my whole setup since I've grown up as a kid, and I shoot a drop away rest now. That's just how my setup is.
What do you think? What do you see like the advantage of a drop away? Because I've actually have a drop away that I thought about putting on it, but I don't know which way to go.
The reason I like my drop away, I cannot use words today, I swear. I don't know. Drop away rest is because I don't have to worry about it getting like slowing down speed or anything like that, and clearance problems like that. The only time I worry about clearance problems is when I'm sighting it in and tuning it and stuff like that. But I use a 4-fletch arrows now, and I just had more success with a drop away west than Whisker Biscuit. So, but everyone's got a different setup though compared to. So what might work for me might not work for somebody else. So peas, tomatoes, whatever you want to say it. So, and the comment, you really don't hear a lot of people trying to buy bows off Amazon.
Yeah, I mean, it come from, when I say this, it came from Japan. It literally, when the instructions came, I had to go online and download the American version because it was all in Japanese.
So, Outdoors and Squatch, I like it simple. By the time they hear that arrow, they're dead.
Yeah, can't complain with that.
So it's a Japanese made bow.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, you should look into it. Like it's
how much did you pay for that again?
It's like $289 or $298, something like that. I can't remember which one it was. It was like $289. It's around $289. It wasn't. It was less than $300, and it's full camo.
I'm looking this up while we talk here because this is what's the name of the bow again?
It's Dragon R8.
Dragon R8
compound. Yeah, I think it's Dragon R8 compound bow.
Let's look at this thing. I don't. Huh. So you saw this? Wow, that look. All right. For anyone,
I'm sorry, they're $199 now.
To give anyone kind of like a quick words, I swear, reference point. Maybe if you're like, it almost looks like one of those bear archery type bows that you'd get kind of pre-made.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, like the Barnett, that Barnett Vortex that they came out with, they sold in Walmart.
Yeah.
It's similar to that. Oh. This bow has those. Now I can't talk.
The words are hard today. Bow, I don't know.
I know, right? This bow, you don't even have to have a bow press to work on it. To change your draw links or any of that stuff, you don't have to have a bow press or nothing like that. You just loosen the 2 screws up on the ends, and it loosens up, and you can change your draw length on the fly in the field.
Well, I guess if anyone's out there and they're trying to look for a bow, okay, thanks, Deucer. Yeah. I mean, it looks like a bear archery type bow too. So if you're anyone that's looking for a new bow on a budget, go to Amazon and look this bow up because it actually looks like a decent bow. And if what's his name from TikTok, everyone knows I can't stand TikTok, so I don't know who the fuck that is. But that all right. Huh. Well, man, so let's he got us in the wrong setup, dude. There we go. Let's talk about the next segment here. Law and Order. Deucer.
Law and Order.
Let's dive into what's it like to hunt in North Carolina. What are some laws there that you might not like, might disagree with, and what are some laws that you might like to see changed or modified or whatever?
One that I can think of right off the top of my head is the $2 that are tags. Like we get $2 a year, and then we can we get 6 deer, so we get $2 and 4 does. And then you can purchase bonus doe tags. But me personally, I wish they would go to like some of these like Ohio, Illinois, and some of the places like that has you get 1 buck tag. I mean, in my opinion, that with that 1 buck tag, you're gonna see bigger deer. I mean,
so
right
is that
now,
the only reason why you want it to go to a 1 buck is to try to get bigger deer?
Well, no, I think that doing 1 buck tag in certain areas, people go out there and they'll kill. I mean, they'll kill. Around where I grew up at, people would kill deer and not tag them. It's kind of the tags only keep the honest man true, right? I mean, that's all it boils down to. In my opinion, that if doing 1 buck tag, you're gonna have from year to year your buck ratio is gonna grow. In my opinion, so you see more bucks, not just bigger bucks, but you'll see more bucks. Rather than you'll have like where I hunt at, like my buck to doe ratio is I have maybe 2 bucks to 25 does. So I'm like very particular about what I shoot over there.
Yeah, I think a lot of states that have 2 bucks, a 2 buck tag, that a lot of them are trying to go to that 1 buck. And I think it's because we want to see bigger bucks, obviously, but I think at the end of the day, it's more of we want to see higher quality deer with better genetics. I mean, yes, we have a decrease in hunters, but at the same time, when you have all these bucks going around, people are trying to shoot them, the quality of deer for bucks is it's getting kind of bad because it used to be like if it's Browns down. And it's just kind of hard to get out of that when you have 2 bucks where it's like, I'm going to shoot that one to get one of my buck tags and try and hope for another one. Nope, I didn't get it, so I'm going to shoot a spike. So and our doe population here in Michigan as well, it's getting out of hand. And it's like, I'm over exaggerating here, but it's like 1 to 30 basically. So I didn't want to jump into this next segment here. News. News
around the world.
There's this article. I haven't read the whole thing yet, but the title of it is Sweden begins brown bear hunting season with conservationists warning of a 20% drop in number. Huh. I don't even know what to say to that.
I don't either. That's
I didn't think you there. First off, I didn't realize there's brown bear in Sweden.
Yeah, I didn't either. I didn't either. Honestly, never thought about that one.
All right. Well, everyone
they're only giving out 486 license as of Wednesday, and that's it.
How many numbers again, Deucer?
486, and that's all they're giving out.
486 tags, and that's a total that they're going to give out.
Wow.
And that starts next Wednesday?
It started yesterday.
Oh, it started yesterday. Wow. I'm learning a little bit more stuff about Sweden. PSE 100, haha, I've been to Sweden and never saw a bear.
No, I've been to the mountains of North Carolina. I never saw a bear ever. But my parents go there on vacation and they see bears all day long. I'm like,
so you've been in the mountains up there in North Carolina?
mm-hmm.
Cody told us a ghost story, basically. Have you ever had any ghost story encounters up there in the mountains?
Man, did he tell you the Brown Mountain Lights? Is that one of the ones he told you about?
The Brown Mountain Lights?
Yeah. So
no.
there's on the Blue Ridge Parkway, there's a spot you can pull off and it overlooks the Brown Mountain, the Brown Mountain side. And you're supposed to be able to see lights running down, like coming down the mountain at a certain time of the year. And I've been up there so many times and never saw them.
Huh.
But,
man, North Carolina, it's like, all right, if you want a spooky, creepy, ghosty type hunt, let's go to North Carolina. That's what it seems like now.
You know, there's a movie that came out, I don't know how many years ago, probably 10 years ago, but it was called The Hunted. And it was a scary hunting TV show. The guy was trying to make it into this, the hunting, filming his hunts and stuff. And he went to this part of that was supposedly haunted. And you need to look it up and watch it. It probably won't get you to go in the woods for about 3 weeks or a month after you watch it, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I gotta check that out.
Every time after I watched it, I would walk out of the woods, like just throw my flashlight around. Like, wait, what was that?
I said it on last show. Have you ever seen the movie Pumpkinhead?
Yeah.
I couldn't stay out late when I was hunting as a kid. Every time when the sun was just cresting, going down, I'd be booking it inside. Like, I'm not letting Pumpkinhead get me out in these woods at dark.
Exactly. Oh yeah.
Let's talk about the rut. When's the rut generally in there in North Carolina?
Man, I'm a firm believer that North Carolina I believe the weather. You know, the weather has a lot to do with your rut, right? And I think that that's just how I've always felt it anyways, that the rut has got to do with your weather. When it starts getting cold, the rut's getting ready to happen. But North Carolina is the biggest bipolar state when it comes to weather, because 1 minute it could be November 14th, the perfect day of the rut, according to the weather, and it could be saying, hey, it's going to be 31 degrees or it's going to be 28 degrees, and you're thinking, man, we're going to have a good hunt. And then you wake up and it's 87 degrees. I mean, it's like the rut for North Carolina, it comes and goes. Like, I think there's 4 or 5 different times that the rut actually happens.
Well, I don't know if I don't think North Carolina is as bad as Michigan. I say this all the time. When it comes to Michigan weather, it's like when I try to ask my wife what she wants for dinner. One day it's going to be this, and the next day it's going to be. They're going to say it's 80 degrees, but then you wake up and there's snow. So it's like you never make up his mind, basically. So
yeah, that's like the day. Like, I went outside today and with the long sleeve shirt on this morning. I was like, I was just sweating yesterday. Now this morning I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt. Like, what's going on? Like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah,
but I think normally, like, our ruts, I feel like normally happen around November is our first rut. And then I'm a firm believer that we have a second rut, and it always comes in after deer season's over with. Because ours runs till January 1st, or the first week of January. Whatever the first falls on a weekend is when it normally ends.
That's when your season ends?
Yeah, that's when our season ends.
And when did it start? In September?
So ours starts September, the second week of September. And then after the second week, it goes bow season. And then for a month and a half, and then it'll come into muzzleloader season, and then muzzleloader will go out, will stay in for 2 weeks, and then after muzzleloader goes out, gun season comes in until the end of the year. In the region I'm in.
So in different regions, then you're gonna have different seasons, most likely. Then it sounds like.
Yeah. So sometimes, where I'm at is like the central, and it'll come in, and then it'll be bow season, muzzleloader, gun season, and then some like out towards the coast, it goes bow season, muzzleloader, bow season, then gun season, or they might stop. They might like towards the mountains. Funny thing is, last year or 2 years ago, my buddy that I hunt with all the time, they went to the mountains to deer hunt, and they went up into this game land carrying their rifles and walking through there. And next thing they know, they came out that afternoon, evening. They got looking on their phones or something, and they realized it was bow season up there. It wasn't even gun season, done went out, and it was bow season. So they've been walking around on a game land hunting with rifles all day long till they come out, and it was actually bow season.
Oh shit!
Yeah, on a game land.
It's a good thing they didn't get caught.
Yeah.
Jeez. Let me ask this question here. So, for anyone that wants to come out to North Carolina and hunt, what would be some things that you would tell them to start preparing for, training, and look for?
Well, to me, it really depends on where you're going to hunt at North Carolina. Like if you're looking at mountains, I would start.
It's only legal if you get caught.
And walking in. I mean, because then I'm telling you, I turkey hunt in the mountains, and it is. My buddy told me, "Hey, we're going to mountains turkey hunt." I'm like, "Okay." Have never been up there before. Yeah, he was like 300 yards ahead of me up the hill, and I'm back here huffing like I done smoked 6 packs of Marlboros. I mean, it's just, but if you're hunting in the mountains, like I'd prepare for steep terrain, because up there it's straight up and straight down. Down where I hunt at, like in the flats, I mean, really bring your mosquito spray because it's full of mosquitoes.
I just want to die, dude. What the hell is going on with you, man? Something's going on. It's like my heart hurts. Let's go, method, now. I'm sorry. Now. I'm sorry, man. I'm just so sad. Stop.
Freaking mosquito.
If you invest in a thermocell.
Invest in thermostat.
Yeah.
I feel like North Carolina hunting, though, would be what's the word I want to use here? It seemed to be kind of tough. PSE mobile hunter, archery turkey in the mountains would be sweet as hell. It actually does. That sounds pretty fun.
Mountain birds are completely different than birds down here. I could tell when you do a segment on turkey hunting, I can tell you I've never killed a turkey in my entire life. And I have never killed a turkey yet. And it's because I started hunting in the mountains. Them birds are something different.
And I've got to say, in all honesty, it's the biggest piece of dog shit that I have ever heard. Everyone's laughing, by the way, but it's true because everybody's heard it too. Everyone heard it, right? They look at all. Everyone's like, "Yeah, big piece of dog shit."
What are the tags like for non-residents? Do you know?
So the tags is cheaper than South Carolina. I can tell you that. South Carolina is. I could never afford to go hunt South Carolina. I had it pulled up here a second ago because I just knew that question was getting ready to be asked about tags. So I had it pulled up and then I kept swiping for some dumb reason.
Looks like it's $30 for non-residents.
No, that ain't right. That can't be right. If that's the case, why am I paying $52 or $60 a year for hunting license?
Huh.
Let's see here. Non-residents. So that's residents.
So it shows here for a combination package, all species can range between, for non-residents, between 42 and 113.
So I would go probably more around the 113 because if you come down from out of state and you're going to hunt game lands, you got to get a game land permit, and that's I think like $20.
That's not bad. PSC 100. Wow, my son wants to go hunt off base in South Carolina. He's gotten figure out if he's considered resident or non. Prices be the determining factor for him.
So I know in North Carolina, you can get a military license. Like it's kind of like the senior license where it's only like $30, because they're not a resident, but I guess they're kind of residents of that off base because they're there. So I think South Carolina's a lot cheaper on.
So South Carolina is cheaper for non-residents for
like military.
For military?
For military, I think they are. Because for South Carolina, you got to pay you only get, when you get your tags, you get one buck tag for South Carolina. Then if you want any extra tags, you have to pay for those extra tags. And you can get like 3 or 4 other buck tags, and they're like $50 a piece. Then your doe tags, and then you got to buy your non-resident license. We added it all up, and it was close to almost $400 for me to get my South Carolina hunting license, and I live 5 minutes from the South Carolina state line.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's cheaper for me to go to Ohio to hunt. Ohio is like 120 or almost like $225 for Ohio non-resident, a year-long license.
Well, Dustin, we're getting here towards the end of the show here. I got some 5 rapid-fire questions here I want to ask for you, okay?
Okay.
First one. What is one state you want to hunt in that you haven't hunted yet?
Ohio or Illinois.
Illinois seems like Ohio, Illinois, and Iowa obviously seem to be the top 3 people are picking.
For deer. That's for deer.
Yeah, for deer.
Yeah, for deer.
Now, the second one here is you can't pick your state, but what state would you move to solely for hunting?
Probably Ohio.
Ohio?
Ohio.
See, that's a first. So what animal, next one here, third one. What animal is on your bucket list to hunt and with what weapon?
Elk and a bow.
Elk and a bow?
Yep.
I feel like I have to sneeze. No, it's not there. All right, number 4. Do you have any hunting superstitions? If so, what are they?
Yeah, I do, but I cannot. Like I've hunted with the same. All right, there's. I don't hunt with Sitka. I don't wear Sitka hunt gear. I'm anti-Sitka. No, I wouldn't say anti, but I am. My superstition is I wear real tree. I've worn real tree since the day I started hunting. I've always wore real tree camo. And that's just my superstition is if I wear Sitka, I ain't going to see a deer. I need to wear real tree and I'll see a deer. And I know I'm going to start a whole crap storm with that being the Sitka thing, but I don't know, man. It's just something about, I just can't get on the bandwagon. So my superstition is I got to wear real tree. When I met my wife, I literally told her, the first thing I told her, I said, if you ever want to buy me anything, I wear real tree camouflage, and that's the only camo I ever buy. And since then, that's all the camos she's ever bought me is real tree.
That's a smart lady right there, then.
That is right.
Number 5. Well, I'll say this. I told my wife, if you're ever planning on trying to buy something for me for hunting, tell me to put a list together And then I'll tell you, all right, these are things I want. Don't stray from it. Don't be like, oh, he might like. No,
Yeah.
this is everything I want. Don't stray from it. Pick something from the list.
Yep.
Number
That's
5
me.
here. What is one thing that you can think of as a hunting community that we should or could do to help improve the hunting community?
Bring more kids involved. I mean, get more kids involved in hunting. I'm a firm believer in the youth in the hunting world. You know, that's the one thing that I always stand by is take a kid hunting. I think that was Bill Jordan that said it the best. You know, always take a kid hunting. So I'm a firm believer in taking kid hunting, and they're the ones that's going to keep our heritage going.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. I think I said before, parents aren't getting their kids out enough to go hunting. Now they're just letting them sit around, watch TikTok all day, and let their iPads and phones let them be their babysitter nowadays instead of throwing them outside and letting them burn energy. When they're getting kids labeled as attention deficit disorder or the kid's too wild up or whatever. No, he's just a kid, or she's just a kid. Throw them outside, let them run around, burn energy. Now teach them some hunting stuff. And I said this on a couple episodes before. In hunting, you learn actual core values to real life that you don't realize that you're actually learning.
Yeah. I mean, I've learned so many things in life just sitting in the woods with my dad. You know, so much knowledge that he passed to me that I still do to this day. I mean, just one thing like toilet paper. I mean, that was one thing. I always ask my dad, well, why are we carrying toilet paper? He's like, well, it serves two purposes. Well, why is that? Well, one, you might have to go to the bathroom. Well, okay, I get that. He said, and then now you can use that toilet paper and mark your blood trail. You know, it's just knowledge like that to me is stuff I took away. I mean, just not just that, but other things.
Use the toilet paper to mark your blood trail. I've never heard of that. I never even thought of that.
Yeah.
Obviously.
So, you know, you think about it, if you turn around and look behind you, now all you see is a bunch of white flags down through there. So now you know, hey, if you're tracking your blood and you lose your blood trail, you ain't got to go walking back through there and try to find the blood. You know where that white piece of paper is. There's your blood trail.
Huh. That's actually a pretty. This is a really good idea. And
You know, I actually have a poultice I make using maize.
Just say corn. Maize is corn, everybody.
Yeah, but he says maize because it sounds more mystical.
Exactly.
Well, I like the way you said it. Maize. 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 Maize.
It's fantastic, okay?
It's amazing.
I'm actually going to start doing that.
I'm telling you, man. Hey, you go to hotels, you get free toilet paper. So
Right. Just buy some crappy one.
that's right.
Well, Dustin, I want to say thank you again for coming on the show. I greatly appreciate it. For anyone that wants to reach out to you, learn more about North Carolina hunting, how can they reach out to you?
I mean, man, I got Facebook and Instagram, and that's pretty much the only platforms I'm on. My Instagrams, I think, D Kimbrell 616. I think, and then my Facebook page. I mean, they can check my post out. I think we got a link on here with my Facebook on there. So I mean, they can just hit me up on either one of those.
All right. Thanks, man. I greatly appreciate you coming on the show. I can't say thank you enough, and thank you for being a part of the very first episode. And it's actually pretty cool how your very first episodes are 100th episodes. So
yeah, man. I mean, there wasn't no pressure at all, you know.
No, there's nothing at all. Nothing,
Yeah,
no pressure.
at all, man. But dude, I appreciate you reaching out to me, man. This was something new, and I enjoyed it, man. I enjoyed sitting around the electronic campfire.
I'm glad you had fun, man. And we'll definitely stay in touch and learn more about you. And I'm looking forward to staying in touch with you, though, man. I greatly do appreciate you coming on the show, man.
Yeah.
All right, man. So this was the conclusion of episode 100. Amazing guy talking with. Sounds like we can just have hunting stories go on galore there, basically. So again, thank you, Dustin, for coming on the show. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in for tonight's 100th episode. Next week, we're going to be moving out to North Dakota, out west hunting, episode 101. And don't forget, next Thursday, August 29th, we're going to be doing not a hunting show, but we're going to be doing a live version of our fantasy football league. Very first annual one that we're going to be doing. Looking forward to that. And with that being said, Deucer, let's tell everyone to put their quarter in the slot machine. We'll see everyone next time.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Whitetail Advantage Podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show.